If you have ever struggled to meditate, you're like, my mind wanders all the time. I just can't do it. Today's episode is for you. I'm going to share a quick tip, a quick hack that's going to allow you to meditate easily and correctly every time. Hi, I'm Heather Hubbard. I went from being a lawyer and partner at one of the largest firms in America to becoming an online personality and successful entrepreneur. I know what it takes to rise to the top. I also know all too well the toll it can take on your health and personal life. So how do you shine bright without burning out? How do you chase joy while achieving success? You're listening to the Hustle and Flow podcast. Welcome back to Hustle and Flow. I'm your host, Heather Hubbard, and we are on our special summer series where each week I share a really short, actionable episode so that you can enjoy time doing whatever it is you want to do this summer, but you also get a quick tip that helps you improve your life, something where you can take action immediately. And today is all about meditating. So I was speaking last week and I shared a visual, and I'm going to share it with you all as well today, that showed how to meditate properly. And I explained the process, and someone came up to me afterwards and they said, that just changed my life. It completely transformed what I thought of meditation. And I now know how to meditate correctly so that I can get the benefit. And I thought, you know what? I should share this with everyone because it is such an easy, quick fix. And you're then going to get the results. So if you don't already know this, when you meditate at least 20 minutes a day, research shows it doesn't just provide you peace and tranquility and less stress. It literally rewires your brain. The gray matter of your brain changes. So even if you don't see or feel the benefits immediately, just know that it is working. It's kind of like going to the gym. So when you go to work out, you don't say, well, I don't have more muscles. That didn't make me feel strong when I was doing it. The benefits pay off over time, not in any given session. So let's talk about what you were doing wrong before and how to do it right in the future so it feels easier for you. The most common meditation that's out there that I think we've all experienced is where we are told to focus on our breath. Just focus on our breath. Bring our attention to our breath. And I don't know about you, but within about half a second, my mind starts wandering. If it's like a good day, maybe I'll go 5 seconds, but probably not. I'm probably immediately irritated and having thoughts about how I don't like this particular meditation. I'm not a fan. I truly am not a fan. But you don't have to be a fan to get the benefits from it. So if you have this same issue where your mind immediately starts wandering, here is the good news. The most basic concept of meditation, especially mindfulness meditation, is that you are paying attention to something. This is from Jon Kabat-Zinn. You are paying attention to something on purpose. And so in the example I just gave, it is you are paying attention to your breath on purpose. Sometimes people use mudras, which is, like your fingers, you're holding a pose. That's what you're paying attention to on purpose. Some people might use a mala, beads, prayer beads, and it is that action that they are paying attention to on purpose. Maybe it's just a mantra, a word that you repeat over and over again. That is what you are paying attention to on purpose. Or if you're doing a guided meditation, what you're paying attention to on purpose is the person's voice who is guiding you. Okay. So that is step one. I think we can all probably get behind that concept, right? We're paying attention to something on purpose. Okay. What's the next step? The next step is for your mind to wander. Notice I did not say, and then you make a mistake. No, the next step is for your mind to wander. When you realize that your mind wandering is part of the meditation process, you realize that you are doing it the right way. That it would be like saying, I'm going to go to the gym and work out, but if I sweat, I'm doing it wrong. No, if you sweat it means you're doing it right. Your mind wandering is the same as you sweating. If you sit in this practice, it is going to wander. It does not mean you are doing anything wrong. It is part of the process. But part of step 2, there's an A and a B. So the A is that your mind wanders. The B is that you have the meta attention to notice your mind wandering. Now, sometimes it takes a while for us to realize this. The more you actually practice, the more quickly you are to witness it. I often say catch it. Some people don't like the word catch because it doesn't sound mindful, but witness, right? So we've all been driving down the road before where we drive for 30 minutes before we realize I'm not paying attention on purpose, right? We're just in like auto drive. That is we don't have the meta attention to say, I'm not paying attention the way I should be. So whether it happens immediately or it happens 2 minutes into your to-do list or the conversation that you were thinking about in your mind, as soon as you do witness it, then you've completed step 2. Yay! Your mind wandered and you witnessed your mind wandering. Congratulations. You're meditating. Okay, and then there is step 3. And step 3 is where most of us get a little sidetracked. And that is that we practice non-judgment. If we want to be radical with our meditation, we practice compassion. So non-judgment is neutral and compassion might be a little positive. And so what that means is you were paying attention to something on purpose. Your mind wandered. Your meta attention witnessed your mind wandering. And then without feeling guilty, without getting angry, without berating yourself, without berating the concept of meditation, you just bring your mind right back to paying attention on purpose. You know, I'm a lawyer and we are not taught to practice non-judgment. We are taught to practice judgment, to be critical. That is not healthy for your meditation practice. So this is where I'll just keep with the gym analogy here. If you do the work and your muscles are sore, or you look in the mirror and you're not yet where you want to be, it's really important to offer yourself compassion and to say, you're doing a good job. You are showing up. You are doing a good job. So the non-judgment piece is just, you're human. Your mind wandered. It was part of the meditation steps, right? Like you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. And then you bring it right back to paying attention on purpose. It is a circle. You just keep moving in through the circle. So a lot of times with meditation, you might set a timer for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or it's whatever, like if it's a guided visual meditation or something like on the Calm app, you just go for as long as it lasts. So you don't know if you're going to do that cycle one time or 1 million times in that amount of time for that particular meditation. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Some people might say that the more advanced you are, the fewer cycles you have because you have more ability to pay attention on purpose without your mind wandering. But I never pay attention to that. My goal is to show up to the gym. My goal is to show up to the mat, if you like to meditate on a mat. For me, it's just my goal is just to meditate. My job is to do it. That's it. It's just, did I do it? Because if I'm doing it and I'm following that cycle, not only am I doing it correctly, I'm going to get the benefit of it rewiring my brain, even if afterwards I don't feel necessarily any better in that moment. So what you've been doing wrong is you've been assuming that your mind wandering is problematic. You've been assuming that that's not actually part of the meditation practice. And it is. And the other thing you've potentially been doing is judging yourself, being critical, saying, I can't do this. My mind wanders. So that's not just confusion about step 2. You're then violating step 3. So once you learn that it's just this simple cycle of paying attention on purpose, having meta attention awareness for when your mind wanders, because it's gonna, and then practicing non-judgment when you bring it back to paying attention on purpose again. And that's it. Now you know the right way to meditate. It is super easy when you know that those are the steps. Anyone can do them. And when you practice that, you are going to get the benefits. So happy meditating, and I'll see you again next week. Thank you so much for joining me for this week's podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, give the episode a like and leave a comment below so we can keep the conversation going. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel so you never miss a future episode or announcement. Listening on Apple, Spotify, or another podcast app, you can watch the video and join in the after show conversation by visiting hustleandflowpodcast.com.